Today is August the 25th, and the people at MotiveWave have been very busy in the last 2 weeks coming up with 3 different versions, 2 of them containing some very nice features. Let's go over them now. We've got 3.4.10, 11, which was just some bug fixes, and 12, which I'll describe later. So what can we find in 3.4.10? We can find the range in the bar. Let me just show you how this works. This is called range. The bar range high to low has been added to the status bar and the cursor data panel window. So let me show you where you can find the cursor data panel window. Right down here, which I open up this way. I go View, Cursor Data. I've just turned it off. So View, Cursor Data. And now when I move my cursor over a bar, you can see right down at the bottom, right here, whoops, we missed it, but is the last value is the range. So the range of the bar from the high to the low. The other is in the compact. The next change is in the compact window, which you saw in 3.4.9, but now you can activate the compact window by pressing the function 7 key. So now hitting function 7, and on a Mac it literally is pressing down the function and pressing function 7 at the same time. So it's a 2-key move, but it just moves between the compact view and the regular view. That's very nice, and it saves you having to go back up here and do a couple of clicks so you can keep your fingers on the keyboard. The study scanner, I'm sorry I haven't reviewed that one. Added look back bars to optionally match the criteria on historical bars and beyond the current bar. I'm sorry, I forgot to check that one out, so I can't show you that without doing some fumbling. The next is the daily volume profile, and they've added weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly to the daily volume profile, which is really quite useful. Here you see a daily volume profile that's summarized on a daily basis. So it's a daily volume profile. And we can and you choose that by going into Study, Add Study, Volume, Profile, and there's your daily volume profile. And when you turn that on, if you want to edit that, double click, and now you can summarize on a weekly basis. So I've got my 30-minute chart, but my chart is going to be summarized so that I've got my 30-minute bars summarized on a weekly basis. And I could also do bi-weekly and a monthly. I'm sure you can see how that would work. So just to refresh, here's your weekly bars. I'm going to move that off to my other screen. Here it is summarized at the end of 1 week, and then you've got 5 more days and your summary for 1 week. If I change those to daily, now I've got my summary happening every day. Now what I've done to these bars is I've colored them. So let me just close this daily volume profile. I go into double click on my chart. Come on, double click on my chart, go into theme, and I change the bars to white. But I've also created a gray set, very light gray. I mean, I could create them blue so you wouldn't see them at all, they just disappear. And it would make it a lot easier just to differentiate the volume profile, and you could get rid of your bars. Now there's probably a way to have no bars. It's just Monday morning and I haven't looked at it yet. But I'm going to ask the support people to take a look at this, because you see that I clicked my gray custom bars and they're just not showing up here. So I don't know why. So that's it for 3.4.10. I mean, that's quite a bit. Now let's look at 3.4.12, and they've added several things into the components. So in the general components, they've added quadrant lines. So let me pull up my general components, and they've added these quadrant lines. And the explanation of quadrant lines is in the release notes. Explains how it works. You've got your Tyrone Levels. Now if you want to find out what these things are in more detail, just go to Investopedia.com. This will tell you what Tyrone levels are, how they work, what to expect from them. So Tyrone levels are brought by either dragging this on or double-clicking, and your Tyrone levels are adjusted based on the range you select. So again, I'm not teaching you how to use them, just the fact that they're there. The other three that they've added are found down at the bottom. Sorry, not down at the bottom. Speed lines. Speed lines is, where do we find speed lines? Speed lines is described as draws a fan with lines at 1/3 and 2/3 retracements from the main source line. So I was looking at speed lines this morning, and it's in the general components, and there it is. So you've got your quadrant lines, your Tyrone lines, your speed lines. There are your speed lines, and now you have your 1/3 and your 2/3. I mean, these are going to be your most important ratios, right? Your 38.1 and your 61.8%, if I'm not mistaken. In the Fibonacci components, the latest update 3.12 has added Fibonacci bars. Draw vertical lines at Fibonacci bars 2, 3, 5, 8, etc. X number of bars from the source line. So go down and find your Fibonacci bars right here, and pick your source line, pick your source, and it's going to create these Fibonacci bars. Fork top ratio is found down at the bottom. It explains how the bars are drawn once you've set the high and the low. Your release notes or search on Google is going to explain what the fork top ratio is, the fork bottom ratio, and the fork center ratio. So as usual, I'm suggesting you upgrade as quickly as you can to 0.12, and remember to keep your Java updated as well. Although I think that Java is incorporated into MotiveWave, but I always keep my Java updated whenever I'm told by my system that there's a new Java update out. I always update it anyways, if not for MotiveWave, for all of my other Java related apps. Congratulations to the folks at MotiveWave. You just keep coming out with more and more features in this very powerful charting technical analysis package.